Rios, 1044 South Commercial. Mr. Blanchard, I greatly appreciate your invitation to visit with you. I really prefer to go ahead and speak to you on a public format. I greatly appreciate you there. Great. Council, I just think spending that money on that pier is just it's just bad business when you already have the pier. You're spending money on something that we already have, and that's just bad business, period. There's nothing beyond that. I understand that we're getting this money from the crime prevention, the sales tax and all that, but if we already have this pier, we could utilize that somewhere else. We could utilize that to help Mr. Blanchard and police the city. And I think some of the best people to help Mr. Blanchard would be the victims here in Aransas Pass of the high crime rate. If you look on the actual terms of what we could actually use some of this crime money, there's some public outreach programs that can be done. And I think it'd be a good idea to involve the citizens who are the ones that are out there on the streets, going to work every day, seeing things going on, trying to help their neighbors. I just saw something on Facebook the other day. Somebody spotted some guy and then they kind of kept an eye on him and then kind of chased him off. So I think your citizens here of Aransas Pass could really, really help out with the crime rate if given the opportunity. And I'm just hoping that one of y'all might just review, see what we can do to involve the citizens, and then maybe we can all help each other and do what we're supposed to do, is be thy neighbor's keeper. I greatly appreciate your time, greatly appreciate your service. I love each and every one of you. Thank you.
East Chacon, citizen of Aransas Pass. On August 22nd, I came in front of you in regard to an unauthorized P&Z fee that I was charged in February of this year. The fee that I was charged was not a fee in place. In the meeting, you all allowed the city manager to lie to your faces while you held the truth in your hands. If you listen back to the meeting and go to minute 21, you will hear Jan ask if y'all can put the P&Z commission fee on the next workshop meeting if y'all don't have something. The city manager cuts Jan off and states, we don't have something, and that's what it comes down to. This right here was a blatant lie and is extremely concerning considering you all passed a P&Z appeal fee on July 5th at the meeting. This shows the incompetence not just of the city manager, but of you all. Then the city manager continues to say that when he found out that there was nothing in place at that point, he knew he was going to have to refund me because there was no policy. Liar. He approved on July 1st planning and development to be put on the agenda for the action July 5th to pass that fee. I was here at the July 5th meeting. When you all passed that fee, I was only refunded after having to ask. Gary did not authorize me to be paid back until July 12th, after I pulled open records and asked to be put on the agenda to ask you all for a refund. So when exactly did he find out that there wasn't a fee in place? After I corrected him and that y'all had already passed a fee at the July 5th meeting, he states, I've explained it. That should be unacceptable to you as an explanation. What he explained is that he is incompetent and he's a liar. As Sir Walter Scott said, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. If you all are going to continuously keep blindly following, listening, and taking the advice of staff without checking on the accuracy of what they are telling you, then we don't need you. You might as well step down. Additionally, it has been 531 days that the city manager, along with other members of the leadership, and as the mayor said, a very good friend of his, assisted and put our city in NFIP violation. Myself and my attorney have been waiting over a week to hear from you. We replied, we got your certified letter, we replied to it, he sent you everything you need to show. The lawsuit that we are in is a civil lawsuit over a fence line and has absolutely nothing to do with NFIP violations and a berm removal. Y'all are responsible to make sure that this city is compliant in the NFIP violations so that we aren't in violation, and you've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. A couple of you have been over there and you can see how messed it up it is, and he won't meet me. I've been told, Gary's gonna meet with you next week. You should get an email. You should get a phone call. I get nothing.
Concerned citizen. Speaking of y'all's violations, I mean, we'll just start there. City council meetings, shall not engage in shouting, unruly behavior, all this. That's a direct violation of First Amendment rights. You might as well remove that. Open Meetings Act 551.007 states that a government body may not prohibit criticism or free speech by any public person. So you need to remove that, taking away people's rights. Secondly, I've been dealing with a friend and looking over numerous violations because he was sanctioned by the city over a pallet. Okay. Unfortunately, there's numerous buildings that have way worse conditions. One being the mayor's building. He had 5 violations. Yet still passed. And yes, you can just hush because you're not supposed to speak. Yet it still passed. Yet my friend's building got felled over 1 pallet and got threatened to be raided over 1 pallet. Yet yours had numerous violations. Within the last 2 weeks, you fixed them. But why did it take 6 years? Because you've only, you were last inspected 6 years ago. You know, I can understand the incompetence done by the inspectors if it was a volunteer service through the fire department, but these are paid firefighters that are supposed to be taking care of the citizens to make sure that they're safe. That's the whole reason for these inspections. You know, up until last week, his doors were a safety hazard. Could have easily gotten somebody killed because they both didn't go the same direction. They went opposite directions. I can't even take my family in there to eat because I have handicapped people in my family that have wheelchairs. They can't maneuver through those doors. I'm glad he fixed them. But the point is y'all are taking a fight against citizens who are just strictly trying to make sure that our rights aren't violated and taken away from us, yet you yourselves, as council members and business owners, have direct violations that get swept under the carpet. Y'all want to spend extra money on a pier and boat ramp that's not needed. That's the Coast Guard's job. You can spend that money towards the police department. We've already discussed that. You know, I mean, if you guys cannot do your job, you can be replaced. It's very simple. And I'll explain that really easy because let you know, y'all were talking about Rockport earlier. Everybody over there is on pins and needles. They're getting booted out.
You're 3 minutes or
3 minutes.
Chief Blanchard spoke for 16 minutes
You're
2 weeks ago.
Up, sir.
Y'all already set precedent by letting Chief Blanchard speak.
Sir, the mayor's spoken, you need to step down.
So you're taking away my freedom of speech?
Valdez, if he's not gonna cooperate, he can be escorted off the property for disrupting.
I'll leave.
Don't have to.